For today's presentation, I'll be talking to Chris Schutz and Wendy Anglis. Chris and Wendy convene and participate in a number of our special interest groups. I see the special interest groups, or SIGs as we call them, as jewels in the crown of Queensland Family History Society. This is where the magic really happens. Attending a SIG meeting offers our members an opportunity to connect, share, and build on their research with other family historians. Everyone is encouraged to contribute their knowledge or experience, and of course, to learn from each other. Ideas and resources are shared with members, and wherever possible, placed on our website too. Many members have found that attending a SIG meeting has helped smash down an annoying brick wall, or at least to find some footholds on the climb over one of those brick walls. 6 of our special interest groups are based on locality: England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, Central Europe, and colonial India and Far East. Members of these groups share information on profitable ways of researching in these specialised areas and can assist you on the various holdings in our library, including maps, books and journals. 3 groups meet to discuss different family history software programs: Family Tree Maker, Master Genealogist and Family Historian. These programs are designed to help you sort and store your research. And we also have a family history writing group, a DNA interest group, and a group addressing the area we now know as Queensland, but prior to its separation from New South Wales in 1859. All members of QHFS are welcome to attend any of the meetings. And the format of the meetings varies according to the different SIGs. The meetings may include general discussion, an address on a particular topic, or information sharing. Currently, most of our SIG meetings are conducted online using Zoom, so you can easily participate from home. Chris, if I can turn to you first, can you tell me a little bit about the 2 special interest groups that you facilitate, what they are and how often do you meet?
I am convener of the Scottish group and co-convener of the DNA group. The Scottish group looks at special issues concerned with Scotland. It's a little different from other areas. It had its own jurisdiction. And so it helps if people know a bit more about the place to do their research. We welcome anybody, member or not, to come to our meeting, a meeting and see how we go, see whether it will suit them. If they're not a member already, but after that they can join if they like. If they are a member, wonderful. And people pop in and out as it suits them. They may have something else on that day that we've scheduled a meeting, or family commitments may take them away for a year or so at a time, and they can come back anytime. We meet the Scottish on Saturday mornings, the second Saturday of the odd months from March to November, between 10 and about 11:30 to 12.
So about an hour and a half every couple of months for specialised information and learning and sharing. What about the DNA group? What sort of, I mean, you know, I know a little bit about DNA. Do I need to know a lot in order to, you know, get some benefit from the group?
DNA genealogy is almost as big a topic as all other genealogy combined. It's impossible for any one person, apart from a few gurus, to know everything. So the DNA group is very much about sharing ideas with each other and learning from the best in the world. And we bring those learnings to the group so that we can all benefit from them. We have 2 sorts of meetings. We meet on the first Saturday of each month, apart from January. And on the even months, we focus on beginners' questions. Once the beginners' questions are all done, then we go to maybe more advanced questions if there's time left. I just need to clarify. We meet on a Saturday afternoon between 1:30 and 3:30. Now, so that's beginners' questions. In the odd months, we look at more advanced topics so that people who already have some experience can get their teeth into something with more meat that will suit them. So between the two, we cope with people who have no experience whatsoever and people who have been doing this for several years and need something challenging.
Great. Thanks, Chris. That's good. I mean, I think everyone out there in Viewerland, you can see that you can dip into the SIGs to the extent that it interests you. So now, Wendy, thank you for your time today as well. Can you tell us a little bit about the SIGs that you belong to and what they offer members?
Certainly. Like Chris, we welcome anybody into our SIG. I'm co-convener of the Colonial India and Far East group, and I attend the Family Tree Maker group. Both groups, you can have any level of knowledge. One of the lovely things about family research is everybody brings their own knowledge to the table and shares it. And no matter how long you've been researching, there is absolutely always something you can learn from listening to somebody else and some extra perspective you can gain from their question. So everybody is really welcomed. We meet on the second Sunday of the even months from 10:30 to about 12. We meet on Zoom currently, and we have members from Melbourne, we have members in Brisbane, and so that's one of the lovely things of having Zoom, that just because you can't be in Brisbane doesn't mean that you can't attend our meeting. And like Chris said, people sometimes won't be available for a period of time and then they come back. That's completely fine too.
Do I need to have done very much research? Do you have, as a convener, do you have an expectation that when I come to a meeting, I'm going to have a particular level of knowledge?
No, not at all. You are welcome to come along, listen. There is no requirement for knowledge whatsoever.
You mentioned Family Tree Maker. That's one of the software programs that helps people like me who need a lot of organisational assistance.
With the Family Tree Maker one, that is a really robust product, and there are so many things that you think that you have got organised and you haven't, and once again you can always learn. And Jeff, who's the convener of that one, is very good at always finding that commonality and making us realise that very point that you can always learn from the beginner's question. We have users who are on Macs and users who are on Windows-based machines, and sometimes that's slightly different. Once again, it can give you a different perspective. We talk about all sorts of things, from how to store information about places to people. That meets there are meetings both on a Friday during the day and also on a Saturday. So there are some members in that group who might work, for example, on a Friday and they choose to go on a Saturday. Other people might be shift workers and they can choose also. So that works really well, having the different dates. And there are notes that come out after each meeting, or if we found some technological solution to somebody's question, it might be just choosing the bits and pieces off the menu. Jeff will write that up and share it, and they're saved on the website in the special interest pages. That's one of the things some of the SIGs are trying to do at the moment. Rather than just having to be present, members can log on to the website and actually look in the section of that particular SIG they're interested in and pick up, maybe it's useful resource links, maybe it's notes from a meeting. The SIGs, some SIGs are more advanced. My Colonial India and Far East group, we're one of the newer groups, so we don't have much stuff up there. We have an e-newsletter that goes out. I write that once a fortnight in the odd months, and that has all sorts of articles to throw your research to different corners. But we haven't got so much on our web pages at the moment. That's happening. Some other groups are very advanced. And Chris might like to speak to that about the DNA group or something. So we're all trying to share our information and grow the pool of information.
Mm, mm. It's a very, I found it's a wonderfully collegiate sort of experience, you know. You don't come along and you're just there by yourself. You're actually part of the group, and there's a lot of toing and froing and problem solving and information sharing, and it's a very social, well, not chitty chatty social, but a very sociable type of activity.
That's very true, the colonial India Far East, because although on the first stance it might sound a little bit like maybe we're looking at British people in India, that's not at all the case. And so colonial India and Far East does start around about the 1600s when you can get substantial English records, but it goes so far beyond, and it goes into Japan and China, the Maldives, the Andaman Islands rather, and somebody researching somebody in China might give somebody in India a hint as to what they might do, or some of the vessels that were travelling across the globe at that time. That would be true also of Scotland, because some Scottish people were jumping backward and forward to the so-called New World, and all sorts of historical documents about things completely not related to British people might bob up.
Thank you both for your time today. I mean, you've given us a lot to talk about and some good insight into how the SIGs, our special interest groups, work at Queensland Family History Society.